நான் சொல்றேன். शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये शरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विस्तारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यं कृतं वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। अपारकरुणासिन्धु ज्ञानदक्षान्तरूपिणं श्रीचक्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्मः। सर्वोपनिषदो भावो योक्ता गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सुदिग्गोक्ता दुःखं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुदं देवं सप्तचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ओके नमस्कार.
சரி, அப்ப நான் ஆரம்பிக்கிறேன். ஓம் ஸ்ரீ பரமாத்மனே நமः. धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेधायुयुत्सवः मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय. உங்க சைடுல இருந்து யாரும் ஆரம்பிங்க.
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यम् उपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमहतीं चमू व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येन धीमता.
अत्र शूरा महेश्वासाः भीमार्जुनसमायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः.
धृष्टकेतुश्चैकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः.
अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तानि भूतद्विजोत्तमः विजोत्तम नायता माम सैन्यस्य समिज्ञातं तानब्रवीमि ते.
भगिनी युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्तः.
युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमोजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः. अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाये तान् निबोधद्विजोत्तम नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि ते.
சொல்லட்டுமா?
சொல்லுங்க. யாரும்
कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदस्तिस्वदैव च.
अन्ये च बहवः शूराः मदर्थे त्वक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः.
अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितं पर्याप्तं द्वितमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्.
अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः
भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि।
तस्य सञ्जनयन् हर्षं कुरु वृद्धः पितामहः सिंहनादं विनद्योच्चैः शङ्खं दद्मौ प्रतापवान्।
ततः शङ्काश्च पेर्यश्च पणवानककौमुकाः सहैसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सप्ततस्तुमुलोऽभवत्।
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महती स्यन्दने स्थितौ माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्कौ प्रदध्मतुः।
पाञ्चजन्यं हृषीकेशः देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः पौण्ड्रं दद्मौ महाशङ्कं भीमकर्मा वृकोदरः।
अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तिपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः नकुलः सहदेवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ।
आश्यस्य परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः दृष्टुष्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकी च चापराजितः।
द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वश पृथ्वीपते सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्कान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्।
सघोषोद्धार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यदारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलो व्यनुनादयन्।
अत व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्र सम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः।
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाहमहीपते सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत।
यावदेवान्निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्म्या सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे।
योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं ययेत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः।
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्तो हृषीकेशः गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्।
भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेदान् कुरूनिति।
तत्रापश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थ पितॄनतः पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा।
स्वसुरान् सुहृदश्चैव सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धून्नवस्थितान्।
कृपया परयाविष्टः विषीदन्नदं ब्रवीत् अर्जुन उवाच
इदम् अब्रवीत्
विदिशन्तम् andam abravit arjuna uvacha दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितं पीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति
वेपतुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षस्य जायते गाण्डीवं संसते हस्तात् त्वच्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः
निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयानुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे
न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा
येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नः राज्यं भोगासुखानि च तयिमेव अवस्थिता युद्धे प्राणां त्यक्त्वा धनानि च
आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाश्वशुराः पौत्राः शालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा
एतान् हन्तुम् इच्छामि क्रतोऽपि मधुसूदन अभित्रैलोक्यराजस्य हेतो किं नु मही कृते
निहत्य दार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिस्य जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतान् आततायिनः
तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधव
यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहतचेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च
कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापात्तस्मान् अवस्थितुं कुलक्ष्य कृतं दोषं प्रपश्य द्विजुनाथनः
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मा सनातनाः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युत
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः
संकरो नरकायैव कुलज्ञानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियां
दोषैरेतैकुलज्ञानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम
अहो बद महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयं यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः
यदि माम् अश्रस्तं तस्तपानयः दाद्राचरणे अन्योर्सन्ने क्षेमतरं भवेत्।
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये रथोपस्थौपाविशत् विसृज्य सशरं चापं शोकसंविघ्नमानसः। ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अर्जुनविषादयोगो नाम प्रथमोऽध्यायः। ॐ तत्सत्।
Okay. Okay, we are now looking into how this Veda, both Veda Purva Bhaga and Veda Uttara Bhaga, are both Pramanam. And we are looking at the Pramanam from the standpoint of the definition of Pramanam itself. The four characteristics of Pramanam are: one, it should be, can somebody read?
अनधिगत्वम् अबाधिगत्वम् अर्थबोधगत्वं फलवत्.
Palavat. In the meaning, what is the meaning? Obanagam. Anadhigatvam in the meaning. Unmute panungo. Unmute panni solungo.
Anadhigatvam means giving rise to independent knowledge. Okay. And abadhigatvam means cannot be negated by another pramana.
Negated by other pramana. Negated by the other pramana.
Arthabodhagatvam, knowledge gained should be sensible. It should clearly teach an artha. Okay. And palavat, useful to the individual using the pramana.
Okay, correct. So all these things should fit into Veda also. Then only the Veda will be a pramana. We have seen how the eye, ear, etc., which are all called pratyaksha pramanam, they are all independent pramanam meeting the four characteristics. Are there any doubt for anybody with reference to that? No. So similarly, this Veda Purva Bhaga, which is talking about the sadhana sadhya vishaya, a means and a corresponding goal. For this, the Purva Bhaga is a pramanam. We have looked at it, 2 or 3 examples, like the Putrakameshti Yoga, okay, and the Kariri Yajna, etc. And for all these things, the Veda prescribes what mantras are to be used, what is the procedure by which those are all to be done, what samagris are to be used, all of them it prescribes. When it says that for this particular yajna, this should only be the havis that is to be given, there is no question of we using the substitute. If it says the rice is to be used, and if we come across the rice is not there, so I can put barley, abdina, that is tough. There is no, we can't use our own independent thinking to come to the decision. No alternative. It is to be exactly what it is prescribed. Similarly, what mantras are to be used, what should be the qualification of the yajamana, what should be the qualification of the Purohit, everything it very meticulously says. And with respect to the Agni, then which type of Agni is to be used, and what are the tending to be done for preserving the Agni, all of them, every nuts and bolts of the issue the Veda prescribe. And how that yajna itself is to be done also it says. These are all, we will find it in the mantra portion of the Purva Bhaka as well as the Brahmana portion of the Purva Bhaka. Okay? Having said that, then if that person does it everything meticulously, then he will get the required result. Whether it is a Putra Kameshti Yoga or it is Kariri Yajna, corresponding results also will come. That is per se. That is sure about it. Now this, then how this Purva Bhaka become Pramana? Because one, the prescription which is given by the Veda alone is Pramanam. We don't have any other means of verifying whether something else could be used. Not only that, between the performance of the yajna and the result that is accruing, how there is a connection between that. How for Kariri Yajna, when it is done, the rain comes. We cannot scientifically explain or scientifically reject also. Either way, it is not possible. For all those things, Veda, Purva Bhaka alone is a Pramanam. That means it meets with the requirement of 1 and 2. Anadigatvam, that means it is independent Pramanam, is maintained. Then Abhaditatvam, that by other Pramana, Pratyaksha Pramana, etc. cannot negate it. Then Artha Bodhagatvat, it is how the procedures are to be done, it is very clearly listed out. Finally, Palavat, it gives rise to the Palam also. So from these point of view, the Purva Bhaga becomes a Pramanam. Okay? And in the Purva Bhaga, these are all for the benefit of the persons who are all interested in the Artha and Kama. That is the material benefit as well as fulfilling the desire. Okay? And also the Purva Bhaga is talking about the other karmas which are all called Kartavyam karma by everybody. It should be done. They are not coming under the purview of the Artha or Kama. This Kartavyam karma ought to be necessarily done by everybody. Okay? And what is the benefit of doing the Kartavyam karma? It is basically for the Loka Sangraha Artham. That is for the benefit of the whole society. By that, everybody becomes a contributor towards the societal life form. There is a smooth life is possible in the society. Okay, these are all called Kartavyam karma. And within the fold of the Kartavyam karma, there are 41 samskaras are there. That is how a person, how it become qualified to do those yajnas. That is, those yajna means those Kartavyam karmas. Samskara means something which is the two aspects to the samskaras are there. One, the dosha apanayanam. Then second one, the doshathukku opposite enadhu chattu mardu vedhe unmute பண்ணுங்க Bhavana.
Gunamaji.
Guys, correct. Dosha apanayanam guna adhanam. எப்படின்னாக்கா இப்போ நம்ம அதுல வந்து களிம்பேர்ன சொம்பு இருந்தானாக்கா it is all is covered with the oily thing. அத நல்லா புளி எல்லாம் போட்டு தேய்ச்சானாக்கா it regains its shining. அதனால்தான் பழைய காலத்துல நம்ம அதுல வச்ச இதெல்லாம் சம்படம் சொல்லுவான். Actually it is sampudam. Pudamna வந்து it is making it shining, and samyak sputam is called a sampudam. அது மாதிரி சம்படம் ஆயிடுது. So they're all clean இது பண்ணி க்ளீன் பண்ணி வச்சானாக்கா பளபளன்னு இருக்கும். ஓகே, அது மாதிரி when we born, all of us are called prakrita purusha. Prakrita purusha naka raw person. Okay, and all these raw persons ought to be converted into a samskrita purusha. Whenever I am using the word purusha, it includes ladies also. Okay, so some prakritam to samskrita purusha is being done by this 41 samskaras. What it is, I will list it out and also briefly tell them what they are. These are all to be done karma, and the purpose of this to be done karma is for gaining one person an adhikaritvam for the later portion, which is called the jnana section or the uttara bhaga. Okay, now that we have seen the purva bhaga, how it meets the requirement of the pramanam, now the uttara bhagam also we have to analyze how it become pramanam, get the status of pramanam. There again it has to meet all the 4 characteristics as defined for the pramanam: anadhigatvam, abaditvam, arthavad, phalabodhavad. Okay, so the uttara bhaga, as I said last class, is basically talking about the identity between jivatma and paramatma. What the Vedanta says is all individual which are otherwise called jivatma, intrinsically their nature is paramatma only. Actually there is only one atma. In the vyavahara dasaila namma vera, we are jiva, we are different. Then Ishvara is called paramatma, that is different. அப்படி நினைச்சிருந்தா நம்ம காரியம் எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். இது வியாவகார தசையில இருந்தாலும் பாரமார்த்திக தசையில, that is with respect to the ultimate reality, both jivatma and paramatma are one and the same. It is atma alone. The adjective which are given jiva atma and adjective that is given parama atma are all only to account temporarily the difference. The differences are not permanent. It is exactly like the wave on the ocean. We call wave, which is also part of the ocean itself, because it has got a different shape, we call it as a wave, and we call the bigger one as the ocean. The wave comes out of ocean, okay, sustained by the ocean, and goes back to the ocean. So it is really speaking, the wave and ocean are one and the same. How do we understand? If we look at it, the intrinsic nature of wave and the intrinsic nature of the ocean, we will understand both of them are nothing but water, H2O. So when we shift the stand from the name and form ங்கிற சமயத்துல ஒரு particular formல இருக்கிற சமயத்துல we call it as a wave. அதே மாதிரி ஓஷன் பறந்து பெருசா இருக்கிறதுனால for that shape we call it as a ocean. So the name is associated with a corresponding rupa. So nama rupa, it seems to be professionally seems to be different. If you use our buddhi and transcend both name and form of the wave and name and form of the ocean, we will understand both of them are nothing but water alone. Similarly, when we, with the help of the Vedanta, that is what Bhagavad Gita is also going to teach us, we will understand we are same as Ishvara. Tat tvam asi. It is a vakya from the Chandogya Upanishad. Tat ingra samayatla the Ishvara, tvam ingra samayatla the individual jiva, both are asi, both are same. You are Ishvara. This is the subject matter of the whole Vedanta, or rather we say this is the central theme of all Veda. Purva Bhaga becomes a preparation, the Uttara Bhaga becomes the real culmination. So to ascertain what is the teaching of any book, we go into the fundamental thing which has got its core item. That is how we decide. So similarly, here in Veda or Vedanta, the core teaching is called, we call it as a Mahavakyam. Mahavakyam naka enade, it is not a big sentence. Mahancha aso vakyam cha illa. It is the statement conveying the identity of Jiva and Ishvara. In other words, Tatparyam of the whole Veda is Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. And when we say Aikyam, normally Tamilla vandu thappa eduthuva, இது தனியா இருக்கு ரெண்டு முள்ள வந்து ஒன்னா ஜாயின் ஆகுதுங்கிறது. That is not joining, is not the aikyam which we are talking about it. With reference to our grammar itself, we will understand aikyam is equal to ekasya bhavam. Eka abdingra ekaha eka ekam, whatever it may be in various linga, the pradipadika is eka, to which we add the tattida pratyaya, that which belongs to that. What tattida pratyaya which is added? Shanj. When the shanj is added, then the eka becomes aikyam. Vriddhi will take place for the first vowel, and sha or the content is ya, so they become aikyam. So aikyam is identity. So Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma. This is the Tatparyam. And it understand pannirukada the whole Purva Bhaga of the Veda and also the Vedanta, all of them are useful to understand the Veda and Vedanta. Adinala, if you know already, the Vyakaranam which we are studying is a Veda Anga. Of the 6 Angas, Vyakaranam is also Anga. This Vyakaranam helps us to understand the sentences which are there in the Veda and Vedanta. That way they are also helpful. So that is why we consider our Vyakaranam study also as the study of Veda itself. That's why we approach the whole thing with so much of a reverence to the study itself. Okay. Now for this, the Aikya Bodhagatvam, the Uttarabhaga becomes a Pramanam. Then how it is the Pramanam, we need to little bit indulge on that. It's a very involved subject matter, because adu fulla namakku the Vedantam therinjadhaan the implication will be known, but nevertheless we will be able to analyze to a large extent. One, the first qualification is it has to be independent pramanam illaya. But nammaloda normal day to day experience la நம்ம என்ன பார்க்கிறோம், we don't find any identity. We are different, Ishvara is different, and we propitiate Ishvara for the loka sangrahartham or for certain material benefit. That means the Ishvara is different, I am different, with which we start. So this is our pratyaksha pramana anubhava illaya. Pratyakshila idudhaan manasai. But when Shastra says it is both one and the same, it becomes an independent pramana, which is not known through any other means of knowledge. The 5 pratyaksha pramanam always reveals I am different, what I am experiencing is different. My eye is different, and the color I am seeing is different. My ear is different, the sound I am hearing is different. The tongue I have, I am experiencing the taste. Like that, all of them, there are dvaitam are there. In each rasanendriyas, granendriyas, all the jnanendriyas, there is a knower, known, drik, drishya. These differences are there. Okay? But Shastra says both the drik and drishya, okay, are both the knower and the known, both are one and the same. So it becomes a independent knowledge. So somebody then question, how could it be one and the same? Can anybody say how could be one and the same? We cannot say by any of our pratyaksha pramana, nor by the anumana pramana, arthapatti pramana, upamana pramana, or the anupalabdhi pramana. With none of the other pramana we will be able to know Jiva and Ishvara are one and the same, and hence the Shastra becomes an independent pramana. On the same reason, all the other pramanam cannot negate the Jiva Ishvara Aikyam. It doesn't have the capacity to negate. So for the second requirement of abhaditatvam also is complied with. The third one, it has to be artha bodhagat, artham. There should be a meaning. When it says you are the same, it conveys quite a lot of things on the thing. You are Ishvara. It makes sense also. Okay? So it is artha bodham. And phalavat is what? Then when I know I am the Ishvara, who is the Jagat Karanam, who is the Sarvajnaha, Sarva Shaktiman. These are all the Lakshana of Ishvara. And by knowing that I am the Ishvara, who is the Jagat Karanam, I gained Purnatvam or Anantatvam, Anandatvam. So so that it becomes the Anandam, Purnatvam is my own Swarupa. That is how the Jnanis know that they are Purna Swarupaha. So it is the Palam is also there. Okay. Are there any question by anybody on any of the thing? Are there any doubt?
குருஜி ரொம்ப சில்லியா தான் இருக்கு. இல்ல நீங்க இப்ப ஜீவாத்மா பரமாத்மா எல்லாம் ஒண்ணுதான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லேன். அப்படின்னா அப்ப மோட்சத்துக்கு போகிறதுக்காக தான் நம்ம எல்லாமே பண்றோம். மோட்சத்துக்கு போய் மோட்ச காலம் முடிஞ்சோடனே திருப்பியும் இந்த ஜீவாத்மா ஏன் ஐக்கியம் ஆகிறது இல்ல பரமாத்மாவோட, திருப்பியும் பிறவி இருக்குன்னு சொல்றா.
அதுதான் அது நம்மள தப்பா புரிஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கோம். that is called அஜ்ஞானம். அந்த அஜ்ஞானத்தினால மறுபடியும் பிறவி, புனரபி ஜனனம் புனரபி மரணம் புனரபி ஜனனி ஜடரே சயனம் இக சம்சாரே பகுதுஸ்சாரே கிருபயா பாரே பாகி முராரே. பஜகோவிந்த்ல சொல்லியிருக்கா, சேம் சங்கராச்சாரியா சொல்லியிருக்கா. எப்போ அந்த அஜ்ஞானம் இருக்கோ, அஜ்ஞானம்ங்கிறது நத்திங் பட் நம்மளோட இன்ட்ரின்சிக் ஸ்வரூபத்தை தெரியாத நிலை. தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அஜ்ஞானம். பிறவியிலேயே நம்ம அஜ்ஞானத்தோட தான் பிறந்திருக்கோம். அப்ப அந்த அஜ்ஞானம் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் இந்த ஜென்மம் மரணம் சைக்கிள் போயிண்டே இருக்கும். எப்போ when we are exposing ourselves to Veda and அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணி, சுருக்கமா சொன்னது கீதையில, அதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணி நம்மளோட அஜ்ஞானம் போயிடுச்சுனாக்கா we will immediately we will know that we are nothing but Paramatma. அப்போ when we are Paramatma, we have become one with Paramatma. அப்புறம் அதுக்கப்புறம் there is no Janma at all. Really speaking, Janma இல்லைங்கிறது for the person who has taken, now there is a Janma. What final vision of the Vedanta is, இப்பவே ஜென்மம் இல்ல. நீங்க இப்போ யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, இந்த அலை வேவ் இருக்கு, ஓஷன் இருக்கு. இந்த வேவ் தன்னவர் ஒரு இண்டிவிஜுவலா நினைச்சுட்டு இருக்கு. அப்போ இண்டிவிஜுவலா நினைச்சிருக்க சமயத்துல இப்போ நான் பிறந்தேன். எங்க இருந்து பிறந்தேன்? ஐ ஹவ் born from the ocean. அண்ட் அது கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா பெருசாயிட்டே இருக்கேன். ஒரு வரைக்கும் பெருசானதுக்கு அப்புறம் then as I approach the shore, I'm going to end up. இதே மாதிரிதான். இப்போ அப்புறம் திரும்பவும் அது அகைன் அந்த அலை கடலுக்குள்ள போயிடும், திரும்பவும் அலையா வரும், திரும்பவும் வரும். இதுதான் புனர்பி. அப்போ இந்த சைக்கிள் அந்த அலைக்கு அந்த அஜ்ஞானம் இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் போய் இருந்துட்டே இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். It is not the reality at all. We can easily appreciate that the wave Swarupam is water. But once it knows my real Swarupam is water, where is the question of birth itself? அலையா இருக்கிற சமயத்திலும் நான் வாட்டர் தான். ஓகே, அலை இது சமுத்திரத்திலிருந்து பிரியவே இல்லை, அப்போ நான் வாட்டர் தான். அந்த கடலுக்குள்ள திரும்பவும் போய் சேர சமயத்திலும் நான் வாட்டர் தான். இதுதான் அஜ்ஞான நிவர்த்தின்னு அர்த்தம். இதுக்கு நிறைய எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுவோம். அலை திஸ் ஓகே, நம்ம லேடிஸுக்கு தங்கம் நகை சொன்னா இன்னும் ஈஸியா புரியும். ஓகே, இப்போ இது தங்கத்தால கல்யாணத்தும் போது என்னெல்லாமா நகை எல்லாம் பண்றா, எல்லாம் பண்ணி இருக்கு, நெக்லஸ் இருக்கு, வலை இருக்கு, எல்லாமே இருக்கு. வயசாயிடுத்து இவாளுக்கு, தென் அப்புறம் 20-30 வருஷம் நிறைய தேஞ்சு போயிருக்கு, எல்லாம் இருக்கு. பொண்ணுக்கு கல்யாணத்துக்கு ரெடியா இருக்கா. இதெல்லாம் மாத்தி புதுசா பண்ணி பொண்ணுக்கு கல்யாணத்துக்கு கொடுத்துருவோன்னு. கரெக்ட்? ஓகே, அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம்? இது வந்து நமக்கு வந்து இதெல்லாம் கல்யாணத்துக்கு போட்டங்கிறது பெரிய சென்டிமெண்டல். இதை எப்படி நம்ம கொடுக்கறதுங்கிறத இருக்கும், அதுக்கு ஒரு வேல்யூ இருக்கும் அவ்வளவுதான். பட் அதுக்கு சென்டிமெண்டல் வேல்யூ இது அதிகமா இருக்கும். அது போய் அவங்ககிட்ட தட்டாண்ட கொடுத்தானாக்கா அவன் வே பண்ணிட்டு இதுக்கு இவ்வளவுதான் வேல்யூம்பா. அவனோட திருஷ்டியில இது செயின் ஆகட்டும், அது என்ன மாங்காய் மாலை டிசைனா இருக்கட்டும், இல்ல வேற ஏதாவது டிசைனா இருக்கட்டும், அவனுக்கு அதெல்லாம் அதை பத்தி கவலையே இல்லை. அவன் லுக் அட் இட், திஸ் இஸ் ஒன்லி கோல்டு, அவ்வளவுதான். அதுக்குள்ள கைப்பாடு வேலையெல்லாம் அவனுக்கு வந்து அதை பத்தி இல்லவே இல்லை. ஓகே, ஸோ அவன் அந்த வெயிட் படிதான் கொடுக்க போறான். ஓகே, ஸோ அதே மாதிரிதான். அப்போ வளையல், நெக்லஸ், மோதிரம் இதெல்லாம் வந்து நாமத்தினாலையும் ரூபத்தினாலையும் டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கே தவிர intrinsically all of them are nothing but the gold and gold alone. எப்போ அந்த நெக்லஸுக்கு நான் கோல்டுன்னு சொல்லி தெரிஞ்சுடுதோ அப்ப அது உருக்கினாலும் அந்த நெக்லஸுக்கு கவலையே இல்லை. பிகாஸ் நான் கோல்டுல இருந்து தான் வந்திருக்கேன், கோல்டாலே இருக்கேன், கோல்டுலயே திரும்பி போறேன். அப்புறம் வேர் இஸ் த கொஸ்டின்? ஸோ நோ திஸ் திங். இன்ஃபேக்ட் இதை வந்து ஒரு டிராமாட்டிக்கா ஒரு ஸ்டோரி மாதிரி சொல்லுவார், ஜஸ்ட் டு கன்வே த பாயிண்ட். ஒருத்தர் வந்து பெரிய ராமபக்தர். ஓகே, அண்ட் பெரிய he was a merchant also, he earned quite a lot. ஆட்ல பூஜை அறையில வந்து ராமர் செட்டு கோல்டால பண்ணி வச்சிருந்தார். அவர் தினமும் பூஜை பண்றதுக்கு ராமர், சீதை, லக்ஷ்மணர் அண்ட் ஹனுமான். ஓகே, all these things were there. So எல்லாரையும் பூஜை பண்ணிட்டே இருப்பார். It so happened that in a distressed state that he has to sell all of them. There is no other way. சரி கொண்டு போனா, he gave it to the goldsmith. அவன் எல்லாத்தையும் வே பண்ணான். வே பண்ணிட்டு ராமருக்கு வந்து சும்மா சொல்ற, ராமருக்கு 50,000 ரூபாய், சீதைக்கு 48,000 ரூபாய், லக்ஷ்மணனுக்கு 35,000 ரூபாய், ஹனுமானுக்கு 65,000 ரூபாய். எனக்கு ஒரே ஷாக் ஆயிடுச்சு. இப்படிதான் ஹனுமான் இருந்த ராமனோட தாசன், அவருக்கு போய் 65,000, ராமர் எனக்கு இவ்வளவு பிரியமானவர், அவருக்கு வந்து 45,000 தானா அப்படின்னு அவங்க கிட்ட கேட்டானே, ஏன் இப்படி சொல்றேன், வந்து இது பண்றேன் இன்னைக்கு சரியா பாருங்க அப்படின்னா. அவன் சொன்ன, ஒண்ணும் இல்ல, நான் சரியா வெயிட் பண்ணிதான் இருக்கேன். ஹனுமாரோட கையில கதை இருக்கு, அது கதைக்கு வெயிட் ஜாஸ்தி, அதனால அதுக்கு 65 ரூபாய். அப்போ ரியாலிட்டி என்ன? is the weight of gold alone matters. From the standpoint of the goldsmith, he is like a jnani. He looks at it everything only from the standpoint of gold only. Whereas this person who has done the puja throughout the year, he has got some sentimental value to the Ramar. He expects Ramarku jaasti price kadaikanum sollite mudiyadhu. That's all. That is the reality of the whole thing. Okay, so idu puriyadhukku konja kashtam da. That is why we have to go through 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, but every chapter we go through will give us a clarity of the vision of Vedanta. Because Gita ila irukkiradhu is nothing but what is there in the Veda and Vedanta. But in the kalathukku thagunda mari there are more easier way of following are all unfolded in the Bhagavad Gita, but it has not deviated from the spirit of the Veda. Spirit of the Veda, it maintains in the same way. Only thing is, it has modified the methodology by which it can be implemented in our day-to-day life. Okay, okay. So any doubt for anybody?
Guruji, I have a question.
Chalunga.
In the wave ocean example, nagai gold example, எல்லாத்துலயுமே எப்படி பார்க்கறோம், there is a பார்ப்பவன்கிற ஒருத்தர் இருக்கார். அந்த பார்க்கவரோட பார்வையில தான் இந்த பேதம் தெரியுது, தங்கமா நகையா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு பேதம் இருக்கு. ஆனா அந்த பார்ப்பதுங்கிறது வந்து தானாகவே இருக்கும்போது, வேவு வந்து தன்னையே இன்ட்ராஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கும் போதோ, அல்ல அந்த தங்கமே வந்து நகையே தன்னையே இன்ட்ராஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணிக்கும் போதோ, அப்பதான் அதுல ஒரு பேதம் இல்லைங்கிற ஒரு உணர்வு ஏற்படுறது. இதை எப்படி அது எடுத்துக்கிறது?
உணர்வு இல்ல, it is a cognitive process. It is an intelligent process. It is no unarvu naga. It could be even a feeling could be different. So what the Vedanta says, minnale na explainabadi, there is a drik, there is a drishya, a seer and a seen, experiencer and experience. இது வந்து வியாவகாரிக வேர்ல்ட்ல experiencer is different, experienced thing is different, dvaitam irukku. What Vedanta says, the intrinsic nature of the experiencer, intrinsic nature of the experience object, both are one and the same. That is what it conveys. It not only conveys, it unfolds how this understanding has to come. In other words, when it says tat tvam asi, that tat tvam asi pona class le sonna mari, it is an equation. We call it as a samanvaya. Equation nale we can understand. We need not put 5 is equal to 5. Equation avasiyam illa. 5 is 5 engiradhu ellarukkum obvious illaya? Am I correct?
Yes.
So we don't have to put equation. But if I put 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 5. 9 minus 4. Okay? This requires an equation. Because 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. But when we put the equation 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4, for a person who has not matured enough, it looks all not understandable at all. For a first standard student, it will look flabbergasting for him. How could it be? இந்த பக்கம் நம்பர் 3 இருக்கு, 2 இருக்கு, இந்த பக்கம் 9 இருக்கு, அந்த பக்கம் 4 இருக்கு, இங்க பிளஸ் சைன் இருக்கு, இங்க மைனஸ் சைன் இருக்கு. Everything is different. Left hand side is different, right hand side is different. How could it be the same? Then what is required? He has to transcend the differences. How to transcend the difference? He has to understand the addition part of it. He has to understand the minus part of it. Then the teacher will be like the Veda. The teacher then will unfold the vision to the student. She will give 3 pencils to him. You keep it on the right hand side. 2 pencils to him, keep it on the left hand side. Then she will ask, this is the whole unfoldment process. Then she will ask him, count how many are there in your right hand. This boy will come 1 2 3. Okay, so in your right hand 3 pencils are there. How many are there in your left hand? 1 2. So 2 are there. So 3 2. Now she takes that all of them and give it to him again. This 5 pencil she gives it to the boy. Now count how many are there in your right hand. The boy now count 1 2 3 4 5. So what happened? How much is the total? He says 5. Above he makes him understand 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Okay. Then the other side again she unfolds. She gives the 9 pencil to him, ask him to count. He counts 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and ask him to remove 4 pencil to his left hand. So he removes 1 2 3 4 and then keep it aside. Then she asks him to count how many are there now. 1 2 3 4 5. Is that okay? Both earlier also it is 5, now also it is 5. So 3 plus 2 is 5. 9 minus 4 is also 5. That way then the boy will be able to transcend the equation which looks different. Right hand side, left hand side looks different. The differences is transcend, and I understand both of them as 5. Similarly, we need to transcend our name and form as a experiencer, and also we have to transcend the name and form of the experienced object. Then we transcend, we will understand both of them are nothing but Ishvara, one and the same. So it's through this equation only it is conveyed. That equation understanding is not an emotional thing. The emotional thing ardanaka adu unarva irukala illaya. It is not simple unarvu. It is unarvu transcending the emotional part, and hence it is a cognitive process, a process which, in spite of seeing differences, it is one and the same. This is how the Vedanta, Veda, Bhagavad Gita conveys the identity between the Jiva and the Ishvara.
Thank you, Guruji. Very nice.
Okay. Any other question by anybody? Okay. So that way, the Vedanta has got a very clear Tatparyam of, and sorry, this one more thing I forgot to mention, that I am Ishvara is not going to be a new information that is going to come. It is not a janya jnanam. Janya jnananaka purusha poranda jnanam. நமக்கு இது நாள் வரைக்கும் பிசிக்ஸ் தெரியல, மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ் தெரியல, கெமிஸ்ட்ரி தெரியல, ஆர் சான்ஸ்கிரிட் தெரியலங்கிறது இருக்கு. பட் when we expose ourselves to the teacher, then this ajnanam with reference to the language goes away, and we come to know I know Sanskrit. So the I know Sanskrit ingiradhe, it is happened with respect to a time. Within the time it is happening. So this is called janya jnanam. A jnanam porandade, purusha poranda jnanam is called all other jnanam. Okay? Whereas our swarupa is all, or our swarupana, all jiva swarupa are nothing but Ishvara angaradhe. In the equation is in present tense. Lat tatu tvam asi. Lat irukke. It is not going to be there in future. Rittle illa. It's not going to happen something later. Ippave you are Ishvara. That means this is a fact which is already there. This fact is not known garada ajnanam. And the ajnanam pochinaka, the fact remains as a fact. Correct? So on the example eduthanaka 2 plus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4 garde, already it is a fact that both of them are 5 only. It is going to born out after he takes a pencil and then counts it and all. It is only the methodology tavara fact remains a fact. So any fact for that matter is not a time bound process. That way you are Ishwarangarade, it is not a happening in time. Adanala it is called Swarupa Jnanam. So the difference is, one is all other knowledge, all other Jnanam or Janya Jnanam. Whereas Aham Ishwarangarade, it is a Swarupa Jnanam. It is not going to happen at time T1, T2, etc. Okay? So in terms of Sanskrit, for the Sanskrit student, the Jnanam word is derived from Jna Dhatu with Lut Pratyaya. Your Anakamala, Anakamala, Yakara becomes Ana Arade, and that it becomes Jnanam Arade. Okay. Now, this Lut Pratyaya, as per the Paninian Vyustam, has got Bahulatvam. It can give rise to Kartari Vitpatti, Karma Vitpatti, Karana Vitpatti, and Bhave Vitpatti. All the four different Vitpattis are possible with the Lut Pratyaya to the Dhatu Nya. Okay? So Nya plus Lut Dhatu, Jnanam அப்படிங்கிற சமயத்துல ஒரு இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ்ல it become karma. That is, we are talking about knowledge of an object, knowledge of part, knowledge of physics. All those things will be, the vyutpatti will be nyayate iti jnanam, karma vyutpatti. What is known is called jnanam. Okay. Then the jnanam could be karana vyutpatti, also possible. Same Jna Dhatu with Lut Pratyaya. When it becomes karana vyutpatti, nyayate anena iti jnanam. Edan moolamaga a knowledge vanduro, that is called jnanam. Apo the I becomes a karana vyutpatti. Jnanam grasamitla, that I can be, that status of the I could be called as karana vyutpatti. Adanalda all of them are called jnanendriyam. Similarly, I also, the ear is a means for knowledge of sound. So the ear, it can be called as a jnanam karana vyutpatti. Whereas the Swarupa Jnanam is Bhave Vyutpatti, knowledge, simple knowledge, and it is a Swarupa Jnana. So the Manasila Vachkongo, it will help a lot in understanding, because the Shastra uses the word Jnanam in different contexts, in different way. It may use it as a Karma Vyutpatti, it may use it as a Karana Vyutpatti, it may use it as a Bhave Vyutpatti also. Context we have to understand what is the meaning of jnanam over there. Then finally, this jnanam is like any other fact, it is a fact. When it is a fact, there is no dispute whatsoever. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 is a fact all the time, whether it is early morning or midnight or evening, it is 5 only. Whether it is the Bhuloka or Swargaloka or Naragaloka, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Like that, any fact is a time dependent, it is not time dependent. So similarly, Tatu Tvam Asi, you are Ishwarangarade, also is a fact. Upon the fact is all the time, it is a fact. But ஃபேக்டா இருந்தா எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணுமே, தெரியலையே. தெரியலங்கிறதா that is what we attributed to the ajnanam. As long as the necklace doesn't know my intrinsic swarupam is only gold, okay, like all our jiva, it also will have a low esteem of itself. It will not have its job satisfaction. So that the necklace will tell if he has got probably a voice, the necklace will tell the valayal, உனக்கேங்க எல்லாரும் உன்னை பார்த்து நல்லா இருக்கான்னு சொல்ற, நான் நெக்லஸ் இந்த மாமி வந்து உள்ள போட்டுட்டு புடவை எடுத்து நல்லா போத்துட்டு யாரா வெளில போனா யாரும் பார்க்கவே வரல, எனக்கு பார்க்கறதுக்கு கூட ஆள் இல்லை, கேட்கறதுக்கு கூட ஆள் இல்லை, இப்படிதான் புலம்பின்னு இருக்கும். எப்போ as long as the necklace take it itself as a necklace only. நான் வளையல்கிட்ட கேட்டானுங்க it will have its own problem. It will also say, it will tell to the necklace, உனக்கு என்ன ஜாலியா இருக்க, ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை, இந்த மாமி வந்து கையில வந்து வளையம் போட்டுன்னு பாத்திரம் எல்லாம் தேய்க்கிறா, ஒவ்வொரு தினம் தேய்க்கிற சமயத்துல நான் அப்படியே என்னோட இது அழிஞ்சுனே போயிடுறது, நான் வந்து மிக்க மோர் தின்னர் என்னைக்கு அப்படியே போயிடுவேனோ தெரியாதுன்னு இட் வில் சே. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் சம்சாரம். இந்த மாதிரிதான் எல்லா ஜீவாவும் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம், நம்மலாம் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். as long as we don't know our swarupa is Ishvara. Once தெரிஞ்சிடுதுனாக்கா, when we have transcended these differences, then எங்க இருந்தா என்ன, நெக்லஸா இருந்தானா, வளையா இருந்தானா, மோதிரமா இருந்தானா, என்னமா இருந்தானா, my nature is gold and gold alone. Then yogaradova bhogaradova sangaradova sangavagena yasya brahmani ramade chittam nandati nandatyeta. This is also in Bhagavad Gita, in the Bhajagovindam. So the whole thing is the unfoldment of the vision of the Vedanta. You are Ishvara. By that we will understand we are all Purnam Brahman. This is the Tatparyam of the Veda Antabhaka. And it becomes a Pramana. So once it has become a Pramana, the namakku theriyaleyengara வந்து it should be a regret ah irukkume thavira வேதா இப்படி சொல்றது அதனால வேதா சொல்றது கரெக்ட் இல்லங்கிறது நம்ம வந்து தள்ளி வைக்க கூடாது. என்னோட அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் தான் சரியில்லை, அப்ப எனக்கு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் வேணும்னா I should make effort to understand clearly what Veda says. What Veda says should be true. அதுதான் that is called the pramana buddhi. அதுக்கு பேர் தான் ஸ்ரத்தான்னு பேரு. When the shraddha is really speaking நம்பிக்கைமோ, but நம்பிக்கை or in English la சொல்றானாக்கா faith mo, all those words has got limited connotation. A faith in English may not convey the real import of the word shraddha. How we define shraddha is the thing, is a fact which is verifiable. அப்போ இப்போ நம்ம says நான் வந்து வேதா says that you are ஈஸ்வரா, எனக்கு தெரியலே அப்படின்னாக்கா அப்ப எனக்கு அதுல நம்பிக்கை இல்லைன்னு சொல்லி வச்சிடக்கூடாது. What Shastra says should be correct. ஏன்னா Shastra says சத்தியம் வத. அப்ப சத்தியம் வதாங்கிற சொல்ற சாஸ்திரம் அனிருத்தத்தை சொல்லுமோ அசத்தியத்தை சொல்லுமோ? சொல்லாது. அப்ப சத்தியத்தை தான் சொல்லும். அந்த மாதிரி இந்த பிரமாண புத்தி இருக்கணும். வாட் இஸ் டெல்லிங் should be சத்தியம். Only I have a limitation in understanding and I should improve myself, I should qualify myself for understanding the Veda. That is the effort. That is what the Purva Bhaga is talking about it. So exposing ourselves to the Vedanta, Veda or to Bhagavad Gita is what we can say. Once we surrender to the Veda or Bhagavad Gita, then this knowledge eventually will dawn onto us. Or put it away, the ajnanam centered on us will automatically go away. It is like operating our own eye. இப்போ கண்ணு சரியா தெரியலனாக்கா சரி நம்ம வந்து கரெக்ட் பண்ணதுக்கு வந்து டாக்டர்கிட்ட போறோம். ஓகே, we are going to the eye specialist. ஓகே, அவர் என்ன பண்றார், நீங்க வந்து முன்னால ஒரு இதை வச்சுட்டு படிக்க சொல்றார், அங்க என்ன எழுதியிருக்குன்னு. Up to what level you can read it, he said. Beyond that, if you can't see it, then you put a frame and a lens, correcting it. Correct பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் he is asking, now up to what line you can read, உங்களுக்கு தான் கேட்கிறார். He is asking you only. So the pramanam, the eye as a pramanam, we are only operating it. We only have to decide. The doctor will not be able to decide. If he has done a specialization, ophthalmology specialization பண்ணிருந்தானக்கா, you should have been known by looking at it. உனக்கு வந்து இவ்வளவு பவர் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு you should have decided. He can't decide it. He depends on you, on us to decide what is the lack of power that we have. இல்லையா? அப்போ we have to only operate the eye to come to the decision up to what level we can read, up to what level we cannot read, and improving that the lens is used so that we can read more and more line. All of us, we only have to decide. Similarly, that means we are surrendered to our eye as a pramanam for revealing the rupa and the color. We are total surrendered to them. We don't question if a ball is red in color and there is an alignment between a ball and our eye, that is, it is red, the knowledge should take place. I cannot have an option, no, this is not a red ball. Can we? Nor we can use the ear to negate, this is not a red ball. So eye becomes the pramanam, and we are surrendered to the eye to understand that it is a red ball. So also, when we surrender to Veda and surrender to Bhagavad Gita, this will help us to know our Swarupa, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. You are Ishvara. That is how it has become a pramanam. And surrender to the Veda, surrender to the Bhagavad Gita is called Shraddha. So finally, the requirement boiled out. Pramana buddhi in the Shastra. When I say Shastra, it includes Veda, Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, etc. So Pramana buddhi in the Shastra, second followed by Shraddha in the Shastra. These two are the prime requirements which are all established by logic itself. So அப்போ அடுத்த கிளாஸ்ல we have to see, இப்போ நமக்கு தெரியலையே அஜ்ஞானம் எப்படி இருந்தது, அஜ்ஞானத்தை எப்படி போக்குறது அப்படிங்கிற சமயத்துல again Veda is paving the way for that. How this ajnanam can go away. அதுக்கு என்ன effort is required on our part அப்படின்னா பார்க்க வேண்டியிருக்கு. That effort what we have to do is called the various samskaras which are there in the Veda, whose transformation in Bhagavad Gita is called karma yoga lifestyle. For all our grahastha, karma yoga lifestyle is the surrendering to Ishvara, is surrendering to the Veda and the Bhagavad Gita. This we will see in the next class. So it is a slow build up leading to that. I think it is now 8th class மேல ஆயாச்சு introduction, but this introduction should be the firm basis for further development of the whole thing. Any doubt for anybody? Okay. Grammar la edha doubt irukka? Illa. சரி. So வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்லைன்னா முடிச்சிருங்க.
பிரேயர் சொல்லிடலாமா சார்?
சொல்லிடுங்க.
दुर्जन सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जन शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येत् बन्देभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत्. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
Is it making sense to everybody as a development, or you all have any? Okay.
ரொம்ப கிளியரா போறது.
நாங்க எங்களையே மோல்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம்.
என்னது
எங்களையே மோல்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு.
ஓகே ஓகே சரி. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.